Yeah, I mean, I do know what you mean. So I'm
like,
happy to be back to work today.
Hello?
Sorry, I've been gone so I feel like I've been working for like 20 straight days because I literally
you always
worked all last week. No, but then I left. We talked about this. I was literally leaving Saturday morning at 4 a.m. to head to the airport for a 6 a.m.
It was
flight.
a Saturday, wasn't it? Yeah, you left on Saturday.
That's what I'm saying. I have worked nonstop.
This trip that you took confused my days because I'm with Abigail every single day anyway. But because you've been gone and I was with her alone on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And so it's Tuesday and I'm like, is it Friday? Are we leaving for the lake today? I'm like, what day is it? And even like things that are happening at night, like sometimes she needs a car ride to fall asleep. I'm like, oh, I was driving by 2 nights ago and I'm like, oh, I bet trivia's on. And I'm like, no, it's Monday. I'm just
at the tap.
Yeah, I there's all these things in my mind that help me know what day
What's going
of the week
on.
it is.
Yeah. No, that's yeah, like for me, it's literally been nonstop. And when I travel,
Are you stuffy?
No, I'm not stuffy, but
I'm a little stuffy.
Are you?
Yeah, you know this. But I just heard you.
Yeah, I meant like in this moment, like you're stuffy, like because of the food that you ate or something.
No, I'm stuffy because I'm.
I did at the hotel that I was in. One, huge shout out to a good friend of mine who's got like a amazing place in Lincoln Center. And
right across from the Juilliard.
Yeah, I mean,
in Manhattan.
He's been like an older uncle / mentor for me for like 20 years, and he has let me stay there probably about 4 or 5 times over the last 15 years or whatever. And what's amazing about this place is that you just pay a cleaning fee. He owns or bought into it.
Absolutely beautiful.
They're not allowed to charge you. Like he cannot be like, hey, you stayed at my place, give me $100. He can't do that. But he gets so much usage of it, and so
he can do anything he wants to do.
Probably, but I mean, if they found out, like, there's rules, right? Like he obeys the rules. Mm-hmm. But the point is that I literally was in Lincoln Center, right next to the Juilliard, I paid $132.
Which is for 3 nights.
For 3 nights.
Well, I almost said 4.
days.
It wasn't. You left our house at 4:30 in the morning on Saturday and got back at midnight last night. So talk about 4 full days.
Like not even like partial days. Like not even like, hey, I got home at noon and we can go to dinner.
No.
Like it was intense. And here's the thing.
Who was it more intense for?
It was, here's the thing. Okay. we both experienced different levels of intensity because you had company. You had access to things that we love. You had the couch. You had television. You were.
When do I ever use the couch or television?
Every night. Every night you lay on the couch.
Well, not really this time.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. It was available to you. I was in a hotel room, which by the way was nice, and I had a little kitchenette and everything. It was really nice. I'm in a great location.
I've been.
I know you've been. I know because you went with me one year. But here's the thing, right? Is that. There's something about standing for 8 hours at a trade show.
I do hate.
Literally repeating and regurgitating the exact same thing over and over and over.
Trust me, I've been to conferences before, and
I was exhausted.
There's no shame in the game. I've got thighs that touch. Okay, ladies, like mine. I have been in the burn unit aisle in a CVS before from standing and walking so much at a trade show that I'm like, okay, we're gonna need to wrap gauze around these thighs. Like in
working it or walking it.
Working and walking. It's just pencil skirts, dresses for days.
Those people. One, trade shows work. One, meet people, want to do business with people. Trade shows work. I believe in them. I enjoyed being there when I was in the moment. I enjoyed meeting people and making connections. Was not the right show for Dusted from a making a deal standpoint. Great show for getting attention. 20,000 people saw Dusted, blasted. Our booth is black. White letters, Dusted. And I'm not even shitting you, 40 people that said, you have the best branding I've seen at the show.
Which is really nice to hear.
Yeah. And you know what? We're not cluttered. And I was talking to someone, I was like, yeah, walk down this aisle.
All of your branding is very clean.
Yeah. Very clean, very specific. And I don't know if I told you this, but there was a guy that walked up and he literally was like, "Can I taste this?" And he took dust or blackened, undid the cap, and he was like, "Uh-oh," and the protective seal popped
Came
off.
with it.
Yeah, and so you know what he does? He puts it back on and goes and opens up the next one. And I go, "Well, you need to," and then he puts them back. And I go, "Well, bro, you need to take those with you. Those are yours now. Like you don't just." And I literally was like, "You need to leave." Like, because he was selling packaging. He's like, "Uh-oh, look like your seal. These are heat seals, but they came off. They're not good enough."
Oh my gosh. I bet he pissed you off.
Oh, I was so pissed. Like, first of all, I am pissed when I am at a booth and I'm trying to make sales and someone wants to come and just talk to me. I'm like, bro, like, if you're not a buyer, like, you need to be very cognizant of people's time. I invested, this trip cost our company probably, I think I did the numbers with you. It was like $3,500, $4,000.
Yeah.
And I wrote a discount airline up there direct, and I drove.
United is not a discount airline.
Oh, okay.
You
I wrote in the back of the plane.
But by the way, poor discount airlines, where have they even gone? Spirit's out.
Well, thank God.
Frontier's still in.
First, at least I
Silver
bought this
Airways
ticket 6 months
I
ago.
know.
If I had waited till after the award started, do you know how much this ticket would have been?
It's crazy.
It would have been
right
like
now.
$600-700.
It is crazy.
But I bought it way in advance. We literally went through SUSTA and so the booths are $4,900, but we became a member of SUSTA. We paid a couple $100. We got our booth for $1,900 as a first time show, $1,500, something like that. We got like a huge amount off. So this show should have cost us probably close to $8,000-9,000. We budget banked the shit out of this thing, and we were in the show for $3,500. And it was just me.
You did fly into Newark.
I did,
which is not.
I've actually never flew into Newark before.
Okay,
which is New Jersey.
Yeah, you did fly into Newark, and so it was a direct flight. The flight wasn't that much, and then you do calculations on like Ubers and stuff, which Ubers and traffic and everything.
I paid $150 to get from the city,
which doesn't seem that bad to me.
Back to
because
for 15 miles.
It's 15 miles, but how long did the drive take you?
40 minutes.
40. Okay. Yeah, because if an hour drive
Plus
here
tolls.
from Sarasota to Tampa, I mean,
Right.
you're easily paying. It's
You're
probably
right.
80,
it's
90
about
bucks.
$80 to get from here to Tampa.
Yeah.
But the toll over there is $1.50, $2, whatever. But like these tolls on the bridges and stuff in like Newark and New Jersey and New York City's like
a $10
toll.
That's crazy.
To go through it.
Yeah.
And so I get it from that standpoint. Oh, and by the way, so traffic was so bad around the Javits Center when I was getting picked up.
Which is where the conference was being
My
held.
lift changed hands 4 times. It was like, hey, Juan's coming to pick you up. And it's like, oh, no,
Drops.
Scott's coming to pick you up. And then,
I will tell you.
And then finally it switched to this other guy. And he had the nicest car. It was like a black, like Chevy Tahoe or something. It was a nice ride.
Well,
And he had a Charger.
I'm very lucky because ever since I've been with you, it's been over a decade since I've had to like really take Ubers or Lyfts or anything here in the local area. I mean, there's been times where I've scheduled an appointment to get to the airport if for some reason, like we had Abigail and I didn't want to park a car for a long time or something like that. But otherwise, I've been very fortunate. Like whether I'm out on a girls' night or something, like you come and you've picked me up. And
Absolutely.
you're very sweet. But it's wild because, and it's been years since I've been to DC, but DC, in my opinion, is one of the worst cities for like Ubers and Lyfts and whatever else. And that happens all the time where you can't get an Uber, Lyft you may be able to get, but it's like, the ride, it says, oh, it's going to be 15 minutes. Then all of a sudden it's 25. And you're like losing your drivers.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I got to get to the airport.
Yeah.
And I start to panic.
Yeah. No, you can't. We've had those situations, but I do want to comment on the fact that, I am like your number one Lyft driver. Like, I mean,
absolutely.
I drive you.
Well, right now,
everywhere you want
I am Abigail's
pick you up.
number one Lyft and Uber driver.
Well, I mean, every child's parents is like their,
yes.
their Lyft and Uber driver.
It's carpool.
And there, to a degree,
the doorbell's ringing.
I know. I heard that
in the office.
Yeah.
Hello, visitor.
Hello. It must be probably like FedEx or
maybe it's a package
or something. I might have something delivered here. Did you have anything delivered here?
No.
I know. I don't know. So like literally, oh, you know who it is? It's Caleb. he comes down here and works on home inspections for an hour after he leaves the other office.
And he rings the doorbell. He doesn't have a code.
He doesn't have a code. I haven't given one yet. I don't know if we should keep him or not. He's listening. They listen to the code, but he doesn't have a code. So see, I can see him back there. So
that's hilarious. We should really get him a code.
I just keep forgetting.
Okay.
I just keep forgetting to do it.
Yeah, you're definitely at this point in life where you have so much going on. It's as your wife, it can be frustrating,
You're right. And you know what? I feel like I've owned it a little bit because we've had a lot of miscommunication.
In the last couple of days, I feel like you're starting
4th of July
to
vacation. I am, because I'm sitting there and reflecting a little bit. Here's what happens when you sit in a trade show booth. You
know what?
Days.
Maybe this was a good trip for you, because while I was like, really, you're going, and it just showed up on my calendar one day, and there wasn't a lot of discussion about it.
I had a lot of internal reflection on life.
I feel like it might have helped you. I'm not sure.
I think it's good.
We'll see what happens with it.
People go on retreats to
have the time,
get away and to create
my
that time.
sister went on a 10-day silent retreat once. Have you ever heard of those things?
I mean, I remember the story.
Oh,
and stuff.
My gosh.
Like 10 days.
People like break down cry, and you're doing like meditations and you're trying to pull out like whatever. I couldn't last 10 minutes.
Oh gosh,
I mean, these people are serious.
You need to talk and be talked to.
Absolutely. I would be like, say something. I would be there in the silent retreat trying to get people to crack like you do the English guards. Like I would literally be like,
dancing in front of people.
You want to talk to me. We're here for 10 days. Someone's got to give.
You couldn't talk. You'd have to do it telepathically. You'd be like, they're like, why is that girl staring and
no, I'd be talking. I'd be like, listen, I thought this. Well, first of all,
this would be good.
There's no world where I would think something like that was good for me.
No, you would never.
People go there because they have trauma that they're trying to like work through and figure out what's going on. That 10-day retreat would give me every ounce of trauma that I would have for the rest of my life.
It's so funny that you said the trauma, because yesterday or the day before.
Oh, you went through childhood trauma?
No, on Facebook it was like it was just like, once I saw his trauma score, I just held him. And I looked at it, I sent you the thing, and I was just like,
first of all,
trauma score? What the hell?
Okay.
First of all, if you grew up in the 80s, your trauma score off the chart.
Okay, but also you sent it, and I think my response was, she was like, I felt so bad. It all made sense. And I'm like, And you were like, should I take it? And I'm thinking.
Well, by the way, I said that being jokingly.
But I know. But also I was like, we don't need a test to know you've had some trauma in your life. The stories are not forgotten or they are repressed, but not forgotten.
What? But here's the thing about like my trauma in my life is that I can literally talk about it with like a badge of honor. Like there's people who've had like what I would say bad things have happened to them. And I sit there and I'm just like, yeah, this happened, man. It was fucking crazy, like
if you're storytelling, but if you're actually like talking about it,
you mean if I'm curled up in a ball in the shower crying?
If you were actually to allow yourself to think about it, yeah, no.
There's probably a few things in my life where
you cannot talk about death.
I cannot talk about death.
Yeah,
it is the one thing that I will just shy away from. I do not like going to funerals.
No.
I don't like anything about it.
So anyway, you do have some things that you don't talk about. But yeah, you can laugh about like pretty, toxic, tumultuous situations. And
absolutely.
Be like, got to the other side. Those were challenges, all part of the adventure, which is, there's truth to some of that.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I was talking to a guy at the trade show and he was talking about world peace or something. And
world peace?
Yeah. He was like an investor and he was like, yeah, I'm working to solve world peace. I'm like, all right, man, cool. Anyway, we got to talking about like life and death and this and that. And we were just chit chatting. And I told him, I said, my perspective on life has changed so much from the time that Bree was a baby versus, say, Abigail was a baby. Mm-hmm. And part of it,
there's 22 years in between.
22 years in between.
Deal. Yeah.
And the other part of it is the fact that I almost died,
Right.
And so being in the hospital for a month and then, maybe at least the first 10 days, is it just me or when the people were there for that first couple weeks, did they make it sound like, hey, Because they used to say things like, yeah, we're not out of the woods yet. And like, did it sound like to you, based off what they were saying, like, hey, like this could go south really quick, really fast at any point, like if we don't get this under control? Was it like, or do you think it was just kind of like, yeah, your body's going to make it. We just need to give it more time. Do you think they were optimistic, or do you think they were pessimistic?
Everyone was very optimistic. The biggest comment that you got while you were in the hospital was every doctor that saw you before, saw you during surgery, and saw you after. Once you finally recovered and you were able to like talk and have conversations, the comment was, damn, dude, you're lucky to be alive. It wasn't, no one was ever pessimistic about the recovery, even though it was hard to get for those of you who don't know, he had an ostomy for almost a year, and there was infection in his body from his colon bursting. And so there was discussion over having a difficult time managing the infection in the body. That was what kept you there for so long. But you had one of the number one infectious disease doctors working on your protocol. And he, the entire time, seemed very optimistic and
like, we're going to get through this.
Yes, it was just like, we've really got to manage this. I don't know how long it's going to take us to get there, but we'll get there. Like, there was never a point after the fact, but it was definitely what became a huge reality after the fact was the fact that you made it was very miraculous. In the moment of the colon bursting and how much was in your system and everything, like, I don't want to get disgusting, but
yeah, I mean, it's tough. I told the guy that I wrote the book about being, about being a hero and everything else. So, but I do feel that has impacted me in my life and how I'm choosing to live it.
Was it part of your self-reflection at the conference?
No, for sure.
While you were selling Dusted?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I went into a lot of places, some dark, some light, I don't know, like just literally. I mean, you have 4 days, and so you feel like let's say I'm talking to someone.
Well, and normally if you're sending someone to a show, like it's a lot of times people do go alone, but oftentimes too, you send
usually there's a couple people.
Yeah, so you're trading off like booth responsibilities. You can go get a meal. You can go
to the bathroom, go something to
eat, you're
and this.
And you're the owner, so you paid for the booth. And if you're not physically at the booth, no one's at the booth selling your product or there to have the conversation.
And one of the other things,
you change yourself to the booth for 4 days. I was
actually thinking, I'd love to be in a position as a company to where, this might sound crazy, but I almost kind of want to make it a family trip. Like, hey, if we're going to go to a conference, I'd like you and the girls to go with.
But a lot of people do that. Tons of people do that if they're traveling for work. Tell their family to come with them because they have because every single night, unless it depends on the conference, right? So like we came from a very small world in the title industry where every single night of the conference there was also networking events or parties or galas during the night.
Can go to those parties.
Yeah, they could, but still,
You're taking away the network, the actual.
I don't think I would dedicate family time to something like that if there was like after hours events.
Right.
But you could tag on a couple days in advance or afterwards, which that's what a lot of people do in those smaller niche industries.
Yeah.
Is say, I'm going to be in this town anyway. Come on this trip with me.
Yeah.
But yes, we started this conversation because you haven't made Caleb a code, and there's been a lot of things requested of you or said to you that seem to have just fallen by the wayside.
It's one of the things that I shared with you the other day, which is
you're getting
when
inundated.
I started this company, we were starting a lot of different concepts, ideas, and ventures, and because we're a venture studio. Like my whole dream is to run this venture studio and to create cool things and get them out there. But we were creating everything. Like we didn't have huge revenues. We didn't have this. We were kind of working our way through it. We were growing. We were adding people, and the reality is that there wasn't a lot of responsibility day to day, but as we've grown, right, all of a sudden, like we have clients. Every single venture that we have built today makes money. Now, some don't make nearly as much money. Some are in the red. I think they're all in the red, actually. Now that I think about it. We're in the red because we're investing in ourselves. That's the biggest thing, But if we look at everything rolled up, I look at it and I go, we are actually doing some pretty amazing things. But I do recognize recently, and when I say recently, I would say the last maybe 2 to 3 months where, and by the way, I made some huge changes, like on the dev side, like, we have 2 amazing product managers and they have taken on the majority. Like if I was doing the work that I used to do here, even a year ago, there's no way we could be doing what we're doing.
Yeah, no,
and so
there's been some key hires and training and people who have taken on responsibility, and there's more of that will over the course of time continue to happen in different roles, because you still take on a large.
I do, because I own product in our company's product, and so that's it. Now there are certain things like managing the financial piece that I would love to not have to worry or think about. I would like someone to look at me and just be like, hey, like, we have enough money in the account. This is our receivables. This is what's going on. And really know that.
You want a monthly P&L on every brand.
I would like a P&L. Now, part of that is me being more responsible, and I had this thing where we would just use one Amex to pay for everything and get points on one Amex. But the reality is that,
which is so crazy,
it's so hard.
It is so crazy that was a mentality that you had, because for those of you who have been longtime listeners, this particular podcast started as budget banking. And that's why we decided to do it, because it was going to be a lot about funding our life and or not being capable of funding certain aspects of our life, and how we budget and distribute to the different accounts.
Like, we budget bank at home, and we never talk about money because it is always there.
Well, but what's so interesting is you just said I wanted to use one Amex to get all the points compiled. Like, there's a lot of expenses, so the more you spend, the more points you can get.
And $7,000-$8,000 in
so you're
trying
to reap the benefits. But what's great, and that was actually, so when we very first went into this budget banking model at home, which for those of you who aren't aware, essentially there's different accounts. Like, there's a food account we get groceries with. There's a vacation account we put money in so we can save up for a vacation, and that's all the money that we have for vacation. So we try to be able to fund different areas of our lives. There's a children's account. Like, there's all different things that we have our personal accounts. Well, anyway, when we very first got into this, I was like, I don't want 10 different accounts where I'm using those accounts instead of my credit card, because I wanted the points and you wanted
the points.
So I had the mentality you just had on the Amex, and it was like, you literally were like, for the amount of points you're going to get, it's really not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Because in my mind, I was like, I'll just transfer money from one account to another. I'll just, instead of like,
and that's work, and that's thinking about those bills.
Right.
So now, I mean, we've been doing this now for like 4 or 5 years.
Oh, a long time. Yeah.
Like what would you say now? I mean, we haven't even talked about this in such a long time. What would you say as far as budget banking and that as a lifestyle?
I love it. There was a certain you have to stay diligent about
updating the budgets based off of life changes. Because, like, obviously we've had children and we've had to tweak. Like,
that's exactly
we used
what
to have like an amazing, like, I mean, I'm talking like effing amazing vacation account.
Now it's not existent.
We've always had a children account, but our dog was in the children account. Like,
right.
It was like so small.
When we were buying food, like $50 a month.
Food and some vet bills.
But yes, that's what I would say. You have to stay diligent about changing both changes in your life and changes in your financial income. So, like, if you're not making as much, making sure that you're going through and you're truly changing it to a lifestyle and paying attention to what you're actually spending on those expenses. So, like, we have run into situations in the past where we'll go, not this year, but like 3 months where the food account is like out of money before the next paycheck. And you're like, okay, we're obviously not putting enough in for the lifestyle we're living. So we either need to figure out how we can maneuver other accounts and put more money in there, or we need to change our lifestyle because we can't afford what we're doing right now.
And
like, hey, newsflash.
You would not get that realization unless
you were doing budget banking
and you saw those accounts.
You would just be
down.
overspending, and all of a sudden you'd be tight on mortgage. You know, and
exactly.
And so it is.
Whereas our mortgage, it's never. I couldn't even tell you our mortgage amount because it just gets paid in that.
Well, I do know it.
1440.
No. Well, yeah, it is 2888 or whatever, but 2880 actually, I think. Anyway, we have a very low mortgage. We're super lucky.
Yeah,
super lucky.
But I agree. It's so my thought.
You gave, by the way, tips and tricks. You gave our biweekly.
I did.
Which we pay our mortgage biweekly because it shaves about 7 years off your mortgage. Because when you pay off of an actual cycle, everything goes to principal. Versus if you pay on your monthly due date, then they take a lot of interest
Right.
out.
So we basically make a 13th payment every year.
Right. But it shaves like 7 years.
No,
off
it actually
your
does
mortgage.
quite a bit. I
If
mean,
it's a 30-year.
I was surprised. The last time I asked you, I was like, hey, what do we owe on the mortgage right now? And I was
Yeah.
like, oh.
That I don't know. I mean, I have a roundabout number, but I'm not going to share it here.
Yeah. And so, but what's interesting is that you're right. So like on our personal side, right? Like we live a very fiscally responsible life. And then me, I'm like this cavaliering entrepreneur where, you know, I was like, oh, I'll put everything on the Amex and then I'll change the payments. But the problem is that in our case,
It's exactly what we just talked about at home. It doesn't give you the visibility.
it doesn't give you the visibility of the profitability.
And in
so
business, it's
we
even more
need-
important.
Yeah. And so Bree had told me, she's like, hey, you need to separate these out into separate credit cards. And what I've decided to do was, you know what? I really need to get to the point to where it's there. If we have a credit card, it's at our parent level and we can use that, but then it's got to get repaid immediately.
Otherwise, it's
from
debited
the-
because it's like the money has to be
debited
there
from-
to support
yeah.
an expense. And
And we have a couple ventures that we have poured money into to get ahead. right?
Intentionally.
Intentionally. Like, you know, surprisingly, like our Stay Cool, wildly profitable, right? For the months it's available.
It's been heating up, not just the business, but the freaking weather is
it's been so hot.
insane
Like I think
right
yesterday
now.
we had 3 orders. Like we probably have like 6 or 7 orders in the field right now.
7 months pregnant and I go walking with Abigail every day. And almost every day now when I'm almost home, like probably, I mean, I go on like a 3-mile walk. So let's say I'm in my last half a mile, like coming down Oak and I'm like making it. I feel like I'm going to pass out.
Well, please.
It's
you're pregnant.
hot.
Let's not make sure you're drinking plenty of water.
So I bring water for her. The problem is if I drink water, then I got to pee.
Yeah, I know. You're in tough shape. Like I gave you a hug the other day. You're like, oh my God, I got to pee now.
Don't touch me.
I don't remember you being like that last time.
Well, I think the body goes through some changes if it's done at once.
And Ava literally like has her hand like around your bladder.
It
I think
feels
she
that
wants to
way
really
for
mess with
sure.
you.
That's disgusting that you just explained.
But you know, I will tell you, like, Stay Cool, profitable. Dusted, wildly not profitable. Like, you know, we made a choice to build this brand up. I would say we.
Which is hard because that was the show that you just went to. Now we don't have. We have an amazing sales rep. Was not available to
We
go to
have
the
an amazing team.
Yes.
Manufacturing.
Absolutely.
Marketing.
But I'm
like-
talking about this show because you're the entrepreneur, you're the
Yes.
owner of the company. It's not a super profitable brand. In fact, me and Maria
That's
we
why it
miss
was
our
so-
recipe videos.
Yeah.
We used to be able to do, but it is this realization of like you can't just do what's fun until it's actually making you money, because I would sit here and
Yeah.
love making recipes on a daily basis, utilizing our seasonings, but
Well,
you know,
and what's crazy is like
that's a lot of time and resources.
You have to spend the money to grow and to get out there. And like we're in a shit ton of stores. I mean, here's the great news: we're out there, and
Yes.
and so this investment that we made in Dusted is not. It's not like if we scale back anything, like Dusted goes away. Orders come in. Like we are out there. We have a foothold. We don't have a super strong, huge foothold, but we have enough to work from where now if we dial it back, I can be a little bit more fiscally responsible. And a lot of the savings.
But the question was, is it
get
worth your time individually to go to this show?
versus what I could do on a different brand?
But then, and I said it the other day, I was like, you could, not that you take work off if you had a sore throat, but I'm like, you could be really sick and need 2 days off work.
Yeah,
like,
so
it's
basically I missed
It was
2
a
days,
Saturday
not 4
and
days.
Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah, I gave up my free time, which, and like you said, I am working all weekend, but there's a much different thing, you know, picking up the phone, answering a few emails, setting up some, you know, computer things, early morning, late night. Like that's different than literally standing there all week. But I will tell you, like we have an opportunity with Costco. I am,
Fingers crossed.
and if just that opportunity, I don't think I told you this. I did the rough math. If we give them a great deal on the Costco, it could be worth $250,000 for us if they picked us up.
Well, everyone say a prayer. Say a prayer.
Say a prayer that Costco comes through. So
Yeah.
we're going to put together something killer and try to put, matter of fact, I need to get with Robin today before.
Well, that was the best thing that came out of your trip. And then what? So we always do highs and
Oh,
lows.
yeah, that and Momofuku.
I was going to say, and you made it to the Noodle House,
Which, by the way, I never would have went to Momofuku except one of my good friends, my roommate from college,
it's very close
is
to.
friends with the founder's brother or something. And it's actually not the founder, I found out after like digging a little bit more. It's like the chief guy of like
that location.
Goods.
Oh, okay.
No, of like the entire
they do sell like grocer.
Yeah, like the grocery stuff like that. So like that's who we connected with. I did not see him there. But I did go to Momofuku and they had a pina colada. Now I would never have got a pina colada up in New York City. But everything else.
I know you're from Florida. It's like frozen drink.
It's like,
was it frozen? Because sometimes
it was the only frozen drink on the menu.
Really?
But here's the amazing thing.
Yeah, I would not have left the tropics and been like, I'm in Manhattan. Give me
every single drink on the menu. So they had like 6 specialty drinks.
Okay.
Had one ingredient
that you don't like.
That I do not like.
Ginger.
Am
I right?
Prosecco.
Oh yeah, you can't have
like things
bubbly.
I couldn't have or whatever. And so I looked at it all and I was just like, oh, I don't want any of this. And so then there was like this lone wolf down there and I was like, I'll take that. It was freaking amazing.
It was so good.
It was so good.
I can't wait till I can drink again.
I know.
Well, then the next night it was nice that you were able to go and get some really good pork belly ramen.
That was Saturday night.
Which is crazy that it was Saturday
and I got right in.
And you got right in because then it was Sunday night.
Sunday night,
you were trying to go.
And I hit Italian on the way back.
Oh, okay. So Monday's when it was super busy?
Monday.
You tried to go again.
I tried to go back. It was an hour and a half wait for the bar and a 2.5 hour wait for
the restaurant on a Monday.
Which
is crazy.
And at like 5:30. Like 6 o'clock.
But
like
a Saturday night was free.
Yeah. But it's also Lincoln Center. Like it's a very, packed place area. It's a huge mall.
Well, and maybe the areas in New York are busier because I didn't even think about this, but on the weekends, I bet everyone's in the Hamptons or somewhere. Montauk.
You think?
The locals, yeah. That's summer life for them.
I mean, it's our favorite show, Summer House. I mean, we figure they're all away and doing fun
who
things
knows?
and stuff. So.
But then I recommended, so of course,
By the way,
I'm from afar recommending restaurants for him. And I was like, hey, there's this Mexican place.
Yes, which was literally right next to my place. And you recommended it. It took me a while to find it. And I had to go around the building to the other side. By the way, it was right next to the Starbucks.
Anyway, it had
every day
$5 margaritas, and the show was coming to a close. So of course, it was your day to let loose.
Yeah, so I had a couple margs there, and they were cheap, $5. So I'm sure the Patron was. I went Patron. I'm sure the tequila was pretty cheap, but I sat next to this lady named Joyce, and had a great, phenomenal conversation with her, and she was talking about the people and moving in and how. We talked about rent control. We talked about all kinds of things.
It's funny the people you meet. We used to meet people at bars all the time in town.
And I was telling someone, not her, someone else, and I said, I never used to sit at bars. And I used to think of bars
until I met my wife.
Yeah, I used to think of bars as like where like the people like it was
like lonesome souls or like, oh, they're pathetic. They're just going to sit there and drink.
Drinkers and just pass out.
Not at all.
Because every bar looks like that. And
no, they don't.
And then I met you, and it was just like, no, the bars where the party's happening.
And where you get to know the bartenders, that's where you become a local. Like, you're never going to become a local sitting at a table getting a waitress every 6 months. Like,
yeah, they're trading through and everything else. So you're right. And I've changed as a person.
You're welcome.
I've changed.
The bar is where it's at. Yeah. I will tell you, we have a child now, and so I don't even know how my sister.
Bring her to the bar.
My sister in Seattle. There's certain restaurants and establishments. Like if you're serving alcohol, like a kid can't even be in the establishment, which is crazy.
That is crazy.
But it's like here, they're not supposed to sit at the bar. It depends on the establishment if they're going to allow
in the
for
time.
You. Yeah, to do it or not.
Almost because we are locals and we have a lot of good friends, they literally like, yeah, bring your baby up to the bar. Who cares?
Yeah, but if there's an issue, anyway, he's acting like we do this all the time. We don't. We've done it like
we take our baby to the bar every night. No,
but the one thing is like if we are Sans child, which hasn't happened since I don't know, October of last year, like a night out, just the two of us. But we
had a quasi night out on the way back from
Orlando. We stopped for 45 minutes somewhere. Yeah. But the best thing you can
45 minutes of my life.
No, it wasn't. We absolutely love our daughter. But we want to sit at the bar. That is like you feel very kid free.
I do.
If you're at a bar.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lifestyle change that I am very happy that I converted to. I
But
enjoy it with
it
you.
was, I can't remember if you were talking to Joyce or if this is just your new friend Joyce or if this is just something else, but America's 250th birthday is coming up. There's like signs downtown and everything they've changed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, on the light posts.
Oh, I mean, it is 4th of July this weekend. That's super exciting. There's this bathing
4th
suit.
of July is the birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our 250th birthday.
Because I looked it up because there was so much propaganda and stuff. Not propaganda is probably the wrong word.
When you didn't think 1776?
Well, I was just like, no.
What happened in 1776?
I don't want questions. Christopher Columbus.
The signing of the Declaration of Independence?
Yeah, Christopher Columbus.
Christopher Columbus is not 1776. That's 1492.
And when
In 1492, Christopher Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Delete this footage.
300 years later,
So we could be 500.
we signed the Declaration. Can you believe that?
So it's Christopher Columbus's discovery's 550th year. Where's that birthday?
I mean, seriously.
You know?
Like,
I just feel like there's other things we could also be celebrating.
In 92, I was
Your patriotic family is going to disown me for this one. We need to literally delete.
No, you're fine. Trust me. My sister wouldn't know that information. My brother probably does.
My sister wouldn't know that.
My sister wouldn't know.
Your brother absolutely would.
It's interesting because what you just did is on a lot of these new little shorts I'm seeing in social.
What? Saying delete it.
Well, no,
and
someone's interviewing something and they ask them a question. So they're just like, what do you think about this? And then they come back with just a random, how they feel. And then the person goes, oh, and they ask them for a detail about what they said. And they're like, oh, you know what? I don't know if I like this interview anymore. So because and what the person's pointing out is just how much they actually just don't know. They're just saying something because they feel it, not because they have any actual facts underneath it.
I was pointing out that I didn't know. And so I Googled today, what day is America's actual 250th birthday?
And what did it say? July 4th?
It did.
Yes.
And I was like, duh, Becky. Like
Independence Day.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Declaration of Independence.
Do I know
Not
what
the Constitution.
July 4th?
How long before the Constitution was created and drafted after that?
Stop asking me historical questions and making me look stupid on a podcast. I'm not a dumb person.
I don't actually know the answer to that myself.
Okay.
I know it was several years
for all
later.
of you listening, did great in math and science, okay?
Oh, me too. Math and science, my jam.
You did great in everything. Well, I can't imagine you did that great in English.
No, I did horrible in English.
Yeah.
Remember the whole Miss Glancy thing?
Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. We've talked about Miss Glancy more on this podcast than any other
what we need to do is find out if she's still around. At this point,
that sounds sad.
Look,
we don't know. Yeah,
we just don't know.
It's not like you're a young buck
there's
anymore.
There's only two teachers.
We were just with Luke. Would he have known Miss Glancy?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
I'll text in the group channel and be like, hey, did you ever have Miss Glancy?
Sorry, I got so distracted. So you were in New York.
Yes.
Pride Week was happening.
Yep.
Traffic was crazy.
Yep.
And the World Cup is going on. Now, were there any games in New York or no?
Yes, there's a few games in New York.
Okay, so that's crazy too.
Yeah.
And the World Cup is...
it's actually being done, I believe, in 7 host cities simultaneously right now.
She probably knows more than we do. Yeah.
Okay.
3 countries.
3 countries, 7
but
cities.
7 cities in the U.S.
No.
7 total?
It's spread out.
Boston, Los Angeles,
Miami, Boston, Los Angeles, New York,
Dallas,
and Houston.
Yeah.
There you go.
I believe it's all taking place it's basically all in North America, Canada, United States, and
Look,
Mexico.
we trust anyone outside the U.S. to tell us about football more than anyone in the U.S. to tell us about football. That is
100%.
a fact. It is. We have people who are religious here in the United States. Everywhere else in the world, football is their religion. That is. I mean, they're
agree.
religious too,
It's
but
interesting
it's
because at the Mexican bar there was people playing on the game.
Were you there when the Mexican game was on?
Well, I was there
because
No.
they won for the first time in how many years? 50 years?
No, I wasn't there for Mexicans game. I was there for
Mexico.
Germany versus someone else.
Paraguay.
And they literally like had the kickoff where they have to go 5.
Well, they're to the point where you do 5 penalties.
Because they've already like gone in like double, triple overtime or something.
Right. Well, someone has to win the game.
Someone
so
has to
at
win the
this
game.
point in time, they're far enough along where it's no longer like you're going to play all these games and whoever wins the most moves forward. Now it's whoever doesn't win is out of the World Cup.
Right.
And so Germany lost that night, which was really crazy because they're one of the more sought after teams. But I don't know if you know this. I was just at Rafferty's before I came here because England was playing. So I went to Pilates this morning.
Yeah.
And then all of the English girls, because I've got a group of friends that are from England originally, were passionate and they wanted to go watch the game.
Must be nice Wednesday afternoon watching.
First of all, I haven't been out to socialize with other
Oh,
humans.
trust me,
and
I'm teasing. You totally deserve this. You've done 4 days. It's just really hard for
it's not even 4 days. It's 18 months. Like I have not gotten out much to like socialize with other people.
Oh, except for book club and
My cookbook book club that I've missed the last 4 months of because
we just hosted book club at our home.
I'm not talking about that book club.
Oh, different. Oh, cookbook book club because you have multiple book clubs.
Yes,
Look, first of all, I want you. To have
you're
your time.
joking, but I
I'm
do not
joking,
get.
like,
I have not gotten
Yes,
out much with
you do
friends
not get
at
out
all.
much. You have a few events, and I'm actually surprised that you're thinking about canceling one of them or not going because the crowd attendance is going to be low. That's the ripple
No, I
effect.
just don't know if it's going
like,
to happen.
If there's enough people,
Right.
You're right. So you're like, hey, I'd rather. spend
Normally the group is like 7. So if 4 of the 7 don't go, are 3 people really going to meet up? Probably not.
and if you're then it's 2 if you decide not to go.
Well, I've decided not to go.
So they're probably not going to go.
But no, so the World Cup is crazy. What's been funny is that I feel like there's a lot of videos right now where everyone from other countries is coming over to America and they're like, what's been all this, news about America being a horrible place? And it's amazing. And even we were talking to our friends, Luke and Tatiana, who were talking about all the people coming over and like trying the different foods and being like, oh my God, this is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, what is this biscuits and gravy? What is all this
I
stuff?
know, like I feel comatose, like my body can't function. It's
Seriously,
like,
I bet people.
Welcome to the
Everyone in
chemicals.
America goes over to Italy and they're like, it's amazing. You could eat the pasta and drink the wine, and I never got a headache and I never felt full. People come to America, they're like, I need to purge my body for 3 months.
And I do it again.
I
and
ate
again,
one
and
meal
again.
and I need to purge. But everyone's saying that they're having a great time. America's doing a great job hosting it and whatever else.
People
but
are
I
brainwashed across the world at kind of what
well,
America
it goes both
is
ways. It
to a
goes both
degree.
ways,
trust
and
me,
Americans
there's-
on how they feel about the
There's
rest
so
of the
many
world.
countries that the people that want me to come visit.
But
them,
super
and I'm like,
sad.
I ain't visiting.
I'm going to ask Maria, the Venezuelan footballer. There was an earthquake in Venezuela, wasn't there? So sad.
I know it was like 2,000 people, I think, or something.
So
Maybe
sad.
more now, 'cause
Was
they-
it just that one footballer? His wife and his children couldn't be found for days, and then they were found and they weren't alive. And he was like playing in the World Cup. Like, can you freaking imagine? Like, you were just gone, like at a trade show. I'm serious. It's like devastating. And there he is,
Yeah.
like probably playing in the World Cup for the first time because it happens once.
He's Argentinian
Oh, but he plays for Venezuela, right?
in a Venezuelan club.
Oh, he's in a Venezuelan club. But where'd the earthquake take place?
Venezuela.
It's just it was the capital, and
Okay.
there's, like, a city next to
We're asking Maria everyone because her family is living in Venezuela right now and she's from Venezuela. But
And everyone's
that's so
safe.
sad. Yeah, thank goodness. Oh my gosh, so scary. But that's one of those things where it's like life is very precious. As you
Hey.
have just reflected on for the last 4 days trying to slang some spices.
Sling the dust.
Yes.
Yeah. We had a couple investors that popped by. They're like, yeah, we invest in brands. And I gave them the pitch. And they were like, literally one guy was like, he like looked down and he's like perplexed. He's like, holy shit. He's like, this is going to be huge. And I was like, yeah, bro, why do you think I'm standing in a trade show booth for 4 straight days? It's because I know it's going to be huge. So
What is that? Oh, it's your
like,
phone.
yeah, it's like, like alarms going off
feel like
over
there's
here.
aliens
We have a very important call here in like 10
I know
minutes,
we're going to end in a
so
second, but did
it's
we
like-
miss anything?
I feel like typically we do kind of glance at this, but we went on like a bunch of tangents and stuff. But at the same time, we covered a bunch of the stuff on here.
We covered
We
pretty
did not
much.
make it. I did not make it to Soft Bar, which one of our favorite shows is
Summer
House.
Carl
And
Radke
Carl-
owns Soft Bar, which is actually in Brooklyn, not in Manhattan. And so,
And how much was the ride going to cost me?
like something, I don't know, it was expensive.
Yeah, it was gonna be like $80 to get the Soft Bar, and I was
Yeah.
like, if I'm gonna spend that, I would rather.
It's
be
a
doing it with
non-alcoholic bar.
Yeah.
Like if I would, first of all, awesome. They do apparently coffees and pastries and other things too. If I was ever going to be in New York City and spending $60 to go to a bar to try like a mocktail, it would be now while I'm pregnant. Otherwise, there's a
We're not
1,000 other restaurants on any one corner in New York doing great cocktails that I'm not sure I'd still take the ride out to.
And I'll tell you, like, you and me are a little bit different. I feel like if you were at a trade show by yourself in New York, you'd find the hottest and best of whatever and go. When I go,
Absolutely.
I sit there and I'm just like,
I would be
well,
researching the
the love
city.
of my life isn't here. I really don't want to have a good time without her.
You're super sweet, but I don't like that. I don't like that mentality.
But
of
it's
like,
true.
I'm not
Would you
gonna-
not agree with what I said?
Everything that I do, if I'm solo, I would wish that you were there to do it with me. But I'm not going to not do something.
I know. That's my point.
Yeah.
Is that you would do it. You'd be like, sit there and go, you know what?
But
Baby,
you would
we could
too.
always come back
You
together.
would too. But I definitely,
if
research
Soft Bar
areas.
was in Manhattan, I would have
You
went
would
to
have
Soft Bar.
gone, and I would have told you. And I'm the one that brought it up in the first place. I believe that life hands you opportunities and chances. Like whenever, if you're traveling for
You know
work,
what opportunity I got?
what?
I was from me to you to the Naked Cowboy.
Oh, yeah,
in
in
Times
Times
Square when I was
Square.
crossing the street.
I know.
And a couple things pointed out. One,
You
he's
couldn't.
old.
You couldn't even selfie it because then
He-
you'd probably have to pay him $5.
No, there was people right next to me that
Yeah,
were all taking
you
pictures
can't.
of him. Maybe if you took a picture with him, he would charge you. But people taking pictures of him, he did not care.
Okay.
And he was like flexing and doing these things. And he had like old man, like skinny muscles, like just
and his
kinda
skin starting to sag.
And of course, he's wearing
Naked
like a cowboy bikini.
Well, this is what we were
So
talking about.
I'm like checking him out.
We are
everywhere,
going to
you
end
know,
it, but
like his legs
first of
and-
all, these people, they might love their lives, but talk about like, do what you love.
do.
Yes, do what you love and love what you do. But holy cow, you said there were a couple of people that were like dressed up as in costume, like not
like
just the naked
Spider-Man,
cowboy.
Bumblebee from Transformers, and I'm like,
But we've gone to like
I mean,
over the
we
course of the
go,
last 10 years.
once a year at least.
These are the same human beings in
The
these
same
costumes.
costumes,
Like
maybe
it's,
the same people.
yeah, you're
He'd
like
probably take it off and be like this old wrinkly old man, and be like, "Yeah, I've been Bumblebee for
80 years.
50 years."
And Bumblebee probably hasn't even been around that long.
Yeah, no, Bumblebee's been around for quite some time.
Okay, well, as long as Christopher Columbus.
Well, first of all, I watched Transformers as a kid, and
Cool.
you know how old I am, so there
I
you
sure
go.
do.
Okay.
I sure
yeah, let's
do.
try not to rub it in.
All right, well, I think that everyone should have a safe. Oh, you better give your 4th of July spiel. You do it once a year.
What's my 4th of July spiel?
add to the population.
Don't take away from the population.
And whatever you do. what if you do either of them and end up in jail, establish dominance quickly.
Yeah.
Anyway, everyone have a safe and happy 4th of
gonna
July
have to say that
on
again next
America's 250th birthday party.
Happy birthday, America.
The Declaration of Independence.
Signed 1776.
If you didn't know, now you know.
Now you know.